Hello and welcome to Pratik Chess Videos.
Hello test friends, today we are going to see game between, well, today our guy is Chigorin, yeah, versus Schiffers. You might not know that name, but he was the second best after Chigorin in Russia. Alright, sounds pretty convincing. Now let's go and start the fun. So, the game started with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, the Ruy Lopez, a6, bishop into c6. This is much drier than Chigorin's beloved Ivan's gambit, but even here, as it turns out, it is possible to stir up trouble. After bishop into c6, d into c6, knight c3, bishop c5, and then d3. Idea is bishop g5, I don't know. Well, bishop g4, h3 attacking the g4, bishop into f3, queen into f3, knight e7, knight e2. Idea probably is knight g3, knight f5. Also, at a time we can play c3. Your d4 ideas are lurking in the air. But after short castle, a surprise was in a weight of black as a white played no, not this guy, g4. It's an interesting move. Well, only interesting because now it allows, because it kind of weakens the king, but still an interesting decision. Queen d7, knight g3 was the expected reply, but bishop e3. He was trying to exchange the bishops. Now bishop b4 check. Well, king to f1. Well, together with g4, this is an original way of preparing an attack. Now, rook a d8, knight g3, and then queen e6. Well, rook a d8 had the idea of just developing the rook, nothing much. Knight g3 continues with the plan, maybe knight f5. Now queen e6, just getting the queen to a bit better position. And now h4. h4 ideas, h5, g5, h6 I guess. Well, but now a5, black seems to also start things on the queen side. a4, a3 seems the thing here. Well, now after a5, there's the obvious move rook g1, and then knight f5 will come with more force because of the rook on g1. But well, here king h8, knight f5, g6, attacking f5, and now a3 attacking b4, and then bishop to d6, and now king to e2. This is a good move. Well, this very modern knight sacrifice is an example of Chigorin's paradoxical thinking. Well, it was an example of his paradoxical thinking. So now what we got here on this game. Schiffers versus Chigorin. Alright, not a bad one. And now G into F5. Just continuing the cold game. And then G into F5 attacking E6. Queen D7. Well, what was the idea behind this knight sacrifice? Let's see this King E2 move again. Well, first things first, the idea of this knight sacrifice was pretty simple. See, after takes Queen D7. Now see, White has a open G file which is pretty dangerous. White can get his bishop to h6 and then maybe possibly f6 g7. That's good. Queen h5 and Queen h5 and doubling can also be possible. And lastly h5 followed by f6. So there are many ideas. All this just on a note of a knight. And if they play rook g8 things, we'll just block with bishop to g5. That's also an idea. Bishop g5 to f6. So there are many ideas. Now bishop h6 was played, attacking. Now threatening bishop g7 check, and then bishop f6 checkmate. So now rook to g8, defending g7, and then bishop to g5. As I told you, this idea is bishop f6, and then you lose the rook and the game. So after bishop to g5, there's really no way to prevent this. So black had to take on g5. Now it's into g5 and then c5. The c5 idea, c4 and the bow, and bishop c5. And now rook to h1. Now rook into h7, queen h5, and then rook h7 is the idea. Pretty idea. Am I right? I get that as a yes. So now knight to g8. Well, knight to g8 was the idea. Most, yeah, I got the idea. The idea is f6 and then defending h7. And to Skiffer's dismay, f6 was played, blocking the f6 move. So now prophylaxis, as we say. But now bishop to f8. Black has his own ideas and wants to play h6. But now rook to h3. Idea is rook h1 followed by rook into h7. So here c4. Well, trying to target the d3. Now rook h1. Ideas rook into h7 and then stuff. So now c into d3. Check. And then c into d3. Well, ideas rook into h7. So now h6. h6. Nice move. But now the problem is that it comes g6. Well, g7 is the idea. And after f into g6, the problem is f7. If the knight leaves, then rook into No, no, no. If the knight leaves queen f6 mate, oh my god. That's a bad, bad, bad thing. Well, and now knight e7. This move just turned the game apart. This move was a bad, very bad move. It was a blunder. Queen d4 would have been better. Or at least queen b5. Yeah, that would have been better. But nope, it was played in knight e7. And then you would not want to get stuck in it. But look into h6, bishop into h6, and a very, very clean promotion. And after rook into f8, queen into f8 check, knight to g8, it was time for the last draw, rook into h6 check. And then the game ended with a resignation. Well, what an amazing game. Best thing was that this knight sacrifice just shook the game off its core. So amazing game by Chigorin. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and the bell icon. Thank you.